PitchIT is a Shark Tank-like competition. It is designed for startup vendors that are here to support the mission of the MSPs, just like connectwise does. The requirements are they are a startup company. Second, they're actually competing for a prize at the end, for $70,000 being first place, $30,000 being second place, third place, Uncle Marv steak knives.
Every episode, we are going to be interviewing a different participant who has helped support the PitchIT program throughout the last several years. So, audience members can expect to hear from former PitchIT contestants, former PitchIT coaches. We've had the opportunity to work with a variety of different industry and media folks who have helped support the PitchIT program. So, talking to podcasters, and then additionally, folks can get tips and tricks on what to expect from the PitchIT program. They can get a better understanding of what it might be like to participate, and they can expect some fun along the way too.
So it's really simple. As I mentioned before, it is for the startup vendors, right? And by startup, I mean 2 million below annual revenue. They couldn't have received any major series funding. That's what we're looking for, people below that, of course. I have not done that. And who should apply also would be vendors that are providing some sort of product or service that's applicable in the MSP space that also has the ability to integrate into the connectwise ecosystem. And then last but not least, they have to be willing to invest. And by invest, I mean invest their time, right? That's what the program, we have a 16-week accelerated incubator program, and they are going to allocate a few hours a week, every week to this. And know that, you have to be hungry and ready to grow when you get into this, because every participant we've actually accepted in has experienced growth. And we stand on the pillars of the brand awareness, the networking and relationship building, and also teaching them on best practices on everything from demand gen, marketing, sales, to lead development of the platform, or any kind of road mapping or whatever it may be. There's a ton of stuff, M&A, you name it. It's part of the education they get.
So how do we maintain excitement throughout the PitchIT program? Comes in a variety of different ways. So first and foremost, I think the sessions that we provide to the vendors who are participating in the accelerator program are pretty exciting. We have folks from across the industry helping to provide content and different training sessions for our vendors, so they can learn different key business areas from these industry experts. So I think that's one point of excitement, if you will. How are we keeping it lively and fun for the MSPs? Well, throughout the PitchIT program, you'll see the vendors who are participating in PitchIT featured on a variety of different podcasts where MSPs can tune in and get a little sneak peek of what the different vendor solutions are, what their pitches are, so they can get excited about these new innovative solutions that are coming to market, and really being refined by participating in PitchIT. And then I think last but certainly not least, Sean does a fantastic job of really creating friendly competition amongst the participants. So I focus on the camaraderie and the friendships and networking that we're making. Sean really likes to pit them against each other. He really likes to make sure that participants know that this is a competition and they are ready to fight and rock and roll and battle it out against each other. So I think those are the things that really keep it fun and exciting.
So, Andrea's spot on. The camaraderie and everything is there, right? They all become friends, but they also know they're competing. And in some cases, they're not just competing in PitchIT, but they're also competing in the world of what their technologies are too. They actually are competing on a daily basis for growth. So, they're all willing participants, which is nice. And, you keep them together, you help educate them together, and you also brag. Every week when we get on, I have no problem with highlighting who stood out doing things. Social posts, pitching, it doesn't, take your pick, like because everybody wants to be on top. They're entrepreneurs because they want to win. Nobody becomes an entrepreneur for anything else other than they want to win at life in general. You name whatever they define that as, but they want to win. So when you see somebody else that is being acknowledged and praised for a great job, you immediately want to figure out how to do the same thing and be at that level. So and it keeps it honest. It keeps it real.
Overall, the most exciting piece of being able to be part of the PitchIT program is seeing the pitches that happen at like the very start of the program, like talking like maybe the second or third weekend. We're already starting to bring vendors on different podcasts and different live streams so they can start practicing their pitch. And seeing the evolution and progress of their pitch when they make it through the 16 weeks or when they finally get to the main competition on main stage at IT Nation Connect, and just seeing the true business transformation that they've made to their pitch, that to me is so incredibly exciting because it's showing that, yes, this is a true competition, but there's very meaningful and valuable lessons that folks are learning by participating in this program, and they're actually being able to apply it and revolutionize their business and how they're talking about it and how they're able to actually share their value prop to MSPs and the audience that they're speaking to. And that right there is going to be so incredibly valuable throughout their entire business and whatever it takes to push them forward.
Andrea covered a good bit of just what it is fun to watch it. It's fun to watch somebody come with a concise message and how they sound in the beginning. And we almost feel like we're personal trainers, right? And we're getting ready for like a marathon or something, right? But really though, some of the highlights, just even last year, well, actually from year one highlight was when all three finalists, and this is back to them working together and doing well, they were getting ready, they were competing because we did the championships at IT Nation Connect in Orlando in November. So and that happens on like day one, day one. They compete that day. We announced that day. So they're getting ready to compete against each other on stage for this prize money. Even with that, they all co-sponsored a pre-day together earlier in the day and promoted each other for the pre-day. Now, fortunately, they weren't competing products, but they were competing in the competition. But that's a highlight in itself. It just shows you the camaraderie, the collaboration, and the willingness to like put themselves in a different position to try to do as much as possible. And then clear to last year, whenever we had it where we did we went over to the artist formerly known as CompTIA, which is GTIA. We went to their ChannelCon and we did the whole crow's nest and had them all get together where, I don't know, 8 or 9 different vendors all pitched in for the success of the greater good of each other and built content, promoted the heck out of it, and really did really well in what they were doing. And then up until the Bourbon and Banter party at the IT Nation Connect event in Orlando this past year, where they all 12 or 13 different companies got together and co-sponsored an event to bring everything together to help them all. That was competitive products, and they still helped each other to actually generate business. And every time they've done this, they've always highlighted PitchIT as well. So they always gave back to the program too, which is really a highlight to me.
I would say probably one of the hardest things is being able to pitch your product, the value prop, and the benefit to the MSP in 5 minutes. That is such a big challenge that we see so many of the participants overcome. Being able to deliver your message effectively, concisely, succinctly is extremely hard. And I would say that's probably the key thing we see people struggle with in the beginning. And after 6 weeks or once we see them on stage at the finals, they're nailing it. 5 minutes to a T. It's pretty cool.
It is extremely challenging. A lot of the entrepreneurs are engineer technology people. And I'm saying this specifically because I want people that are watching this to pay attention to that. And the typical conversation for that type of person is the nuts and bolts, the features, and all the cool things they developed, which is a great conversation later. So focusing on that and then learn how to really thrive in the community the right way. A lot of these men and women were or are currently MSPs, and they're used to doing business in a certain way at IT Nation events even, or any event. Now they go, and I make the joke to them, but it's a real thing. You know, you went from having drinks bought for you to now you're buying the drinks because now you're a vendor. So it's also that transition into being the vendor, and learn how to actually leverage their experience, but then also change over to that other side of how to grow as a vendor in the space now.
My answer is everybody. I mean, yeah, everybody. Why not? But seriously, if you're an MSP, it gives you an opportunity to learn about new and innovative solutions that are coming up. If you're a vendor, it gives you insight into what the PitchIT program is all about and maybe some of the competition you're going to be up against in the coming months or weeks. And if you're a startup, it gives you an idea of what to expect if you were going to participate in the PitchIT program. So I fall back to everybody. Everybody joins. Everybody watch the episodes. Join the channel program broadcast. Join us live at IT Nation Connect. We want to see everybody there. People can tune in every other Thursday, 8 a.m. Eastern, and you can find us on all of our IT Nation socials.
You're an MSP, you're shopping, you're looking for vendors, you should be coming and watching, you should be supporting the community. You want to keep bringing them back, you want them to sponsor, they need your involvement. 2, you should also start following along because you may have friends that are actually part of the vendors that are part of this. So you should support your friends. 3, it's actually the only competition of its kind in our space. It's the only one in the space that does this. It is a true accelerator incubator program that leads to a finals, a semifinal, and then a final. We have so many applicants that come in for the need and the want to do this. It's insane almost the amount of attention we've gotten over the last few years. Not to mention, all the finalists from the last few years have all realized extreme growth. Actually, most of the contestants have. From being acquisitions, we've had several acquisitions take place out of the last 2-3-year classes. We've had many companies get actual funding as well. So literally, it's been a success, and we've seen some of the vendors have experienced 200-300% growth, and they did have customers, so it's not from zero. So we're clear, and while doing this stuff, again, these vendors are fun to watch. They're interesting products. You're typically looking for stack alignment. It's a good place to be for that. Vendors, you should, and also vendors and MSPs should watch this because they should come and get a clinic on how to actually speak, how to be on stage, how to present their products, learn from it. Everybody should be watching that stuff for that reason.